magicians that Pixar Animation Studios uses to help bring some of the most memorable characters to life.
Christian Hoffman's most recent project is Coco, which comes to theaters later this month. But first, he's live here on Good Morning Cincinnati. Christian, welcome. So good to see you.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Reading a little bit about your bio, you have worked on a lot of big Disney Pixar movies, but you're a character supervisor for Coco.
Yes.
Tell us what a character supervisor does.
Sure. So the character supervisor, they oversee all of the aspects of the creation of the characters for our films in the computer. So what we'll do is we will get art or sculptures that sort of show us what we want the characters to look like. And the first thing we need to do is build that character in the computer. Once we have it built in the computer, we have to add controls to the character to actually make them move so they can be animated. In addition to that, my team also will do the shading, so that's sort of the painting and the textural quality of the characters and also how they respond to light. And then lastly, we're also responsible for the groom, so it's the hairstyles and the mustaches and everything else for the characters.
That's fascinating.
And that's the amazing thing. I mean, down to each individual single hair. We're seeing some of your work on the screen right now. The other thing that's fascinating to me, Christian, if I understand right, you went to Carnegie Mellon.
Yes.
Your major was like science and math, and yet here you are working at a place where emotion is the thing. I mean, that's what works about Pixar films, is you just fall in love with these characters. You're kind of working both sides of your brain a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I have a computer science background, but the interesting thing about Pixar is we've got people of all different types of background. We have very artistic people, we have very technical people, we've got some people that are extremely good at both. So the interesting thing for me is I came in over 20 years ago, back when the industry was just still being formed, and you kind of had to be technical back then, just because the tools weren't very good. But over the years, our tools have gotten a lot better, and I think it's really opened the industry up for a lot more people.
Well, I was reading in your bio that you loved computer games when you were a kid, and so you found something that took that love for computer games and made it into a career. What would you say to kids who are thinking about careers in math and science?
I mean, I love math. I love math. I actually use it at work. It's really interesting. A lot of times when you're at school, you think, I'm never going to use this, but I actually do, and it's really exciting. And I think there are a lot of opportunities out there. I think it's really important, and I would really encourage people that are good at that to continue with it, because I think there are plenty of opportunities for people.
One more question for us. So 20 years you've been involved. So you've seen some unbelievable changes. What do you think the next thing is? Do you know what I mean? What's the thing we're going to be watching 20 years from now that will just blow us away?
I have no
Hard
idea.
to speculate, because it's just changing so much.
Yeah.
So
I hope it's still Pixar movies.
That's a good answer.
I think anytime Disney is involved, it's going to be watched for generations to come. Christian, thanks for your time today. You can see his work in Coco in theaters on November 22nd. So much fun. This is Good Morning Cincinnati on Star 60.